7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag. That's a way.
Trying to center off to Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby.
And welcome into Championship Monday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it. You see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Caratenuto.5. And yes, the YouTube channel, my Pitchfork Lunchers, you know it. Go to YouTube. Go to my channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe as you've missed a lot. Just put it that way. I always tell you every day you missed a lot, but nonetheless, check it out. And also you can go to the Casual Sports Radio Network. You go to www.ksrnaz.com and click listen live, because we are part of the Casual Sports Radio Network, the best internet radio station on the web. And you can check out the show live there every day as well. Also, yes, so look, it is Championship Celebration Monday. We are going to get to a ton of stuff. Obviously, extended highlights of the Big 12 Championship game. Look, forks up to Kenny Dillingham and the staff football team. Volleyball as well. Want to get that here in the opening, the volleyball, as well as they did fall to Texas A&M in the second round. They beat New Hampshire and then fell to Texas A&M in 4. But JJ Van Neal and this volleyball team, Pitchfork Lunchers, look, we will get to them. It is a phenomenal year. It was a phenomenal year, phenomenal 2-year run, and it's just building and building and building. So that being said, right, when we come back, we'll have extended highlights of the football game coming up, and also we will be hearing from head coach Kenny Dillingham. Going to show his, we'll have his Monday presser here as well. So stay tuned for that. More coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Audio Jungle. KSRN has the inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project you've been putting off because...
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Last year it was totally different because of your success and the good headaches that maybe we were going to find last year.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of interest, particularly the wide receiver position. A lot of people have been reaching out, so it's positive.
Chris Carpenter, St. Louis Source. Kenny, just wondering, after saying in the game that you didn't thought maybe year 3 you would be in this position for year 2, what things did you learn from players in this group that can help you even more into your future?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. Anything, don't ever put limitations on yourself. You never know what you can accomplish. Like, these guys, not just from a physical standpoint, but from the mental, from the work, from the continued grind, from the adversity faced, they've really accomplished something up to this point that's incredible. Something that I don't know if a team's ever been picked 16th out of 16th and ended up winning. Whether it's pro sports, collegiate sports, I can't think of a story like that off the top of my head. So what I've learned is the whole mindset of the program of just be the very best you can be all the time is so true, because we wouldn't have put this expectation as success. We wouldn't have defined success as this based off of preseason expectations. So don't ever put yourself in a box. Continue to just be the very best version of yourself. And I think that's just, these guys are a living testament of that. And they continue to do it. They continue to amaze me every single day and what they do, good and bad.
Nick, Blake, Doug, Jake.
Okay, Nick came from Arizona's family. The Scats balance. How unique do you think it is? Do you have a comparison for anyone who's been able to kind of keep themselves up the way he does.
Yeah, I mean, I compare him more to like the Ray Rices, the Maurice Jones-Drews of the world, where they were, a little bit shorter guys, really stocky, 220, maybe 30, I don't know what their weights were, but with unbelievable balance and physicality. That's kind of the running style when I watch him, I think of. And then they were both really good pass catchers out of the backfield, so I see him as a similar player like that with the elite contact balance. Mind you, I've never watched the real film on either of those guys. I've watched the fan film, right? I was watching them on TV. But when I watch those guys play, those are the guys who I feel like Scat kind of reminds me of.
Blake?
Hey, Kenny, Blake Needham, Sun Devil Source. You talked about yesterday a lot of guys from the southeastern part of the country being on your team, being able to kind of grow up and idolize the Peach Bowl. How big has being in the Big 12 Conference been to having that national reach for recruiting, as well as the transfer portal and getting guys to come here?
Yeah, definitely. We recruit a little bit past Texas, but the majority we stop kind of at that Texas range, and we'll dabble past it. But I definitely think being in the Big 12 has opened up doors from us from a recruiting perspective to recruit that side of the country. So I know those guys are excited to get there. I know Jeff is from there, and he's fired up as can be, and he's probably the funniest dude in our team. So that's a scary combination to have the funniest dude on your team going back home for the game. So we're gonna have to make sure we definitely have him under control when we go back out there.
Doug, Jake, and then other Jake.
Doug Franz on Blood Podcast. I thought post game you made a great point about Travis. Last year, Greg Byrne came out on the record and said he's going to figure out what they're going to do, future scheduling. When the committee first got together, we were told every week it's an independent week. It doesn't seem anything remotely the same. So for you going future, how does whatever the committee is trying to tell us affect you, future scheduling, future decisions?
Yeah, I definitely think, I know there's going to be conversations about that moving forward, and this is so fluid that it's going to change and move, and so I think it's all dependent on the discussions that are had this offseason. You have to be able to react in real time. I think if there's one thing that everybody knows about college athletics right now is you have to be able to react today. And then it may change in 3 months and you have to be able to react again. And the teams that can constantly change, redirect course, the teams that are going to be successful, the teams that have to move mountains in order to get things accomplished are the teams that are going to struggle. So as long as we can continue to change courses quickly, as the rules change, as the standards to enter the CFP and stuff like that change, then we're going to be in a good spot. The moment that they change the standards or the expectations change, and it's difficult for us to change scheduling or change those things that are critical, that's when it's going to become a struggle. But right now, I feel like we're in a good position that we're maneuvering at a pretty good speed right now, and hopefully we can continue that.
Jake, Jordan, Anthony, Damon.
Hey Kenny, Jake Garcia, 12 News. How did you see Xavier Guillory embrace his role at the start of the season? And then what have you seen these past few weeks when maybe more was asked of him and he's responded the way he has?
Yeah, obviously he won the starting job to start the year. Then he got dinged up. Right after he got in a rhythm, he had a really good game. We're like, okay, good. Like X is going to get going. Then he got dinged up, and I'm like, man. And then he kind of went in that period where he wasn't really healthy, couldn't really practice, could kind of practice, wasn't full speed. So for him the last few weeks to finally get back and get that momentum, I mean, we wouldn't have won the game without him. And absolutely critical for us to get him back. I wish we could have seen him an entire season healthy, because I think the kid can play on Sundays. He's athletic, he's physical, catches the ball well, will be a phenomenal special teamer at the next level. So I wish we would have been able to see a full season of him healthy at ASU. But other than that, it's just awesome for the kid to grow like he did, even with the adversity he faced in the middle of the year.
Jake, Jordan.
Okay, Jason, based on Shamari Simmons targeting, just kind of your thoughts on that goal. Are you able to appeal that, and also if he can't play in the Peach Bowl, do you have someone maybe fill in for that first half?
Yeah, we're definitely working through an appeals process right now. It was unfortunate. Shamari knew, he saw the quarterback looking away, So he made an emphasis to keep his head up. And then at the last second, you can see the quarterback turn towards him and lower himself a little bit. And that little bit of the turning and the lowering is what actually created the contact with the neck area, which when you're defenseless, you can't make contact with the head or neck area. So it's very bang bang from a targeting call. There's numerous reasons why it's bang bang. So we definitely appealed it. He's such a great kid. This is about the kids, and it'd be unfortunate if a guy who's put in all the work he's had, who his senior year, who tried to do the right thing, he kept his eyes up, loses half of a game. That is something that he'll remember for the rest of his life, that he's worked his entire life for. It'd be upsetting. It wasn't malicious. He wasn't doing anything violent other than just trying to play the game with his eyes up. And for that to take something away from him that he should be able to embrace and cherish would be really disappointing for the kid when the whole mission of college athletics is for these guys. I hope something will happen there.
Is that just an appeal to conference?
I don't know where the appeal goes. I don't know who approves it. Yeah, I hope it does get overturned. I think it's the right thing to do for Shamari and everything that he's done, in his career, and he's played football his entire life to play in a game like this, and for something to be that close, and like 2 inches are the difference in this kid being able to experience something that he'll have for the rest of his life. I think the human in everybody should understand that this is something that should get overturned.
Jordan, Anthony, Damon.
Hey, Kenny, Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. With more and more players going to the portal, what advice would you give them going into this process? And then for the high school recruits, what advice would you give that maybe wasn't as important maybe 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, high school recruits, now you're competing with the unknown. Before, you knew you were competing versus the other kids in your class, but the reality is you're competing for a spot on the depth chart now. You're competing for a spot on the roster, and that roster spot and your competition changes when you wake up one morning and there's 6 other freshmen that are on a college roster that are now in the portal at your position. And you just went from number 1 on somebody's board to number 7 overnight, because those freshmen in the portal are still treated like freshmen. They still have 4 years left just like you. And I think that's the hardest part right now for the high school kids to understand, is it's not the recruiting that it was in the past, because a team that can get a high school kid from the portal, or a freshman from the portal who's maybe been in a collegiate program, who understands what it looks like, who maybe has played in some games, right? It could change where you stack for somebody. So my advice would be, when you know where you want to go, make sure you trust the people you're going to, stay committed to that school, and then work your butt off when you get there. For our guys that are going in the portal, we've met with most of our guys that are going in. Our guys have the opportunity to stay on our football team. Like, they're like, well, we'll go in at the end. I go, no, that's not fair to you to go in after our run is over. Like, I want you to have the best opportunity to find a spot. You can go in right now, day one, we'll help you find a spot and stay on our football team if you want to stay on our football team, and let's go on this ride together the rest of the way. But I didn't want those guys to feel like they had to wait to go in because they wanted an opportunity to have a bigger role for a program until after the CFP. I think that would have hurt their chances. So I made it very clear to the guys that you can stay on the team as long as you do what you're supposed to do, just like you're on the team. Go to meetings, show up, be 5 minutes early, check in, weigh in, go to workouts. Even if you go in the portal here, that doesn't affect me at all. That's just us being on the same page, trying to help you achieve what you want to achieve in your career. So we will have some people going in that choose to stay a part of this team, and it fires me up that we have the relationship between the kids and the team, that they want that they want these guys to stay a part of it. And then we'll have some guys on the team that are like, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to take midweek visits, and I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive finding a spot, and that's fine too. And either way, it's what's best for these guys.
Anthony, Damon, Cam, Blake.
Hey, Kenny.
all I know as of now.
Cam, Blake, and Jake.
Hey, Kenny, Kimber Cox, 12 News. Just curious, what have these last 48 hours been like? Can you take us behind the curtain? Has anyone reached out to you that you thought, oh, that's cool? It's something to say, and then what does your family think about all this? What have those moments been like behind the scenes?
Yeah, and I'm not like, I mean, I don't get like infatuated with people like, oh, that's cool, that person has hit me up, or that's a famous, that's never been, like I've never been an autograph guy, so that type of stuff doesn't, it's like, oh, cool, like, cool, right? But from the family perspective, my family's definitely very excited. They're probably more excited than me, to be honest. You know, we're still in this right now, so I'm excited, I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but there's still, it never really ends. College football doesn't sleep. So like, you wake up today and it's the beginning of the portal. It's like, okay. And it's a whole new season within a season. And then we go back and it's back to the season. And so I haven't really, it's been awesome, it's been exciting. I mean, it's the first time in, 30 years, 28 years, we won a championship here, which is awesome. Well, none of our guys were alive on our football team for what they just accomplished. And anytime you do something for the first time in your lifetime, you better embrace that. But I came here for what we can build over time, not to be a flash in the pan. And that's what I'm working on right now, is how do we prevent ourselves from being a flash in the pan. But my family's super excited. I've gotten a ton of text. It's cool.
Blake and Jake.
Hey Kenny, first year of the Leadership Council for you. Do you believe that this success happens without that Leadership Council?
No, 100% it does not happen.
Well, how have they transformed this culture to create this success?
Well, they make all the decisions. Like every major decision we have in our program is decided by them. They're the ones who wanted me to meet with the guys early. I've been having exit interviews since before the Arizona game, because I asked them, hey, I know this is weird, but now in today's day and age, kids are getting called by other schools already. You know, kids have to start making decisions. And I'm like, well, we haven't played our final game yet. How are we going to start talking about next year? And so for them to give me the insight and, you know, what kids are thinking about now and what's actually happening, I think has been huge, because now I'm meeting with the guys. We're all on the same page. Yeah, we have tough conversations, and then we have to go play Arizona. Yeah, we do. But that's just part of life. You're going to have tough conversations with people and real conversations. And for our team to only be better through all this, and then guys still want to be a part of it. And that's just one example of how the Leadership Council has made decisions to get us to where we're at. Whether it's, hey, we're tired today, coach. Like our bodies are warm. All right, I got to change schedule. Like, and then it's like, coach, no, we can go harder. Like, we feel good. We feel good this week. And the honesty that they've had towards me and then back, I think has helped this team get to where we want to go. And then, same token, I challenged those guys early that we're only going to be as good as them. We're only going to work as hard as they work. We're only going to play as hard as they work. And that's what good teams are. You're only as good as your best players. And, you know, I know people always use the saying, you're only as good as your worst player. I couldn't agree less with that saying. You're only as good as your best players. Your standard is your best players. If your best players set a high standard, people feel obligated to hit it. And I think that's what this Leadership Council did. This Leadership Council forced the guys beneath them or the guys next to them to hit their standard of effort, their standard of relentlessness, and their passion for the game. And I think that's what's really elevated everybody in the program.
Jake, Doug, and Colin.
Okay, there's 3 weeks off between now and your next game. Do you guys have to change the process or maybe reevaluate some things with the schedule in terms of like a bye week? It's almost like a 3-week bye week compared to the regular season.
Very hard, to be honest. I've never really experienced anything like this, so I called a few coaches. I'm not going to mention who I called, just about managing this. And, you know, a lot of them, to be honest, both of them didn't tell me like what they liked, what they did. They both said, this is what I would never do again, because it's such a weird space. You know, we're playing good football right now. Now you have 3.5 weeks where you don't get to play football versus an opponent. I mean, that's as long as fall camp. and how do you manage bodies with staying in shape, with staying fine-tuned, without hitting each other too much to get somebody injured, because you don't want to get somebody hurt. And so we have a plan. Like I said, I talked to some other coaches who've done this before, and then I met with our leadership council and our staff to go through, get everybody's opinions, to put together the best plan. And our players are off this week until Sunday night, and then we'll come back. We'll do like basically a bye week for that next week. Simulated bye week. A lot of young guys practice, one veteran practice. Basically, we're going to get one high 500 player load, which is a normal high workload for us, player load day a week after they get back, to try to make sure we're hitting. Those are game day levels. 500 player load is a extensive game. Usually we're in the high 400s, so we want to get a 500 player load the 2 weeks leading up to the game week, and then one of the game week. So hopefully we can keep our keep our ability to play at 4 quarters of football.
Doug, Colin, and then Jake in the back.
I had to laugh when you just said, some of your players weren't even alive the last time that the championship was won.
All of them.
Well, you were barely alive the last time the championship was won. So if my math is right, you're first grade, second grade. What do you remember about the Rose Bowl?
Not much. I mean, I more remember, I don't have a great memory when it comes to stuff like that. I just remember like coming to games in that era, and remember that like the same couple used to sit next to wherever my dad had his seats, and it was like they would always say hi. I don't remember their name, I don't remember what they looked like, but I remember there was a couple that would always sit there, and they would always like look back and talk, and we would like have conversations, right? I remember throwing the ball in the parking lot. I remember parking where the motorhomes used to be over by the old baseball field. There used to be, all the motorhomes used to park in that parking lot, and I remember blocking it off so we could play catch with different cars. I remember that type of stuff. I remember running up the hill to get up that you weren't supposed to climb up. For those of you who have been around for a long time, the dirt hill that you cannot climb, but everybody climbs it, right? And then once a game, somebody falls down and they're at the bottom of the hill all dirty, and everybody's laughing at them. Did you see the guy who fell? I remember those types of things about that era, but I think that's what makes college football different and unique. It's not just about the product on the field or the result. It's the moments that college football create for the fan base that you remember. You don't always remember the plays, you remember the environments, you remember the seasons, you remember everything that goes into it. I think that's why it's will be so fun to get season ticket sales up, to get people back involved, to get this place sold out more, because the environment's something that your kids and your kids' kids and your aunts and your uncles are going to remember for the rest of their life, just like I just did. Like I just went down memory lane like that. That's how it should be for the next generation of Sun Devils 10, 15 years from now.
Colin and Jake.
Kenny, Colin Harmon, ABC 15. I guess it's a great problem to have, juggling the portal while getting ready for the CFP, but if you were kind of controlling the rules of college football, is there a way where you're not still playing for what you're playing for and having to deal with all this stuff for the future?
There's not a right answer. It's kind of like being on the CFP committee. You're always wrong. That's the nature of sport. I mean, this is the definition of sport. It's so great because it's a living soap opera. I mean, we're living a reality show. It's just not a reality show, it's a real show. But this is and people are going to complain and argue, oh, you should have voted this person off as Survivor this week because the next week he changed alliances on you, right? You're never right. You're always wrong, and that's what makes it great, is I'm going to get on here and say we should be ranked here. Well, why wouldn't I? Like, does that mean that they're wrong? No, it doesn't. It means I'm always going to defend my players and defend our team, and that's what every coach should do, and that's what makes it so great.
Jake, Jordan, and Nick.
Kenny, with Cam starting his college career at an FCS school and then potentially ending it with a Heisman finalist nominee today, I'm curious if you think there's a lesson there for current high school players, maybe even current college guys, about going to a place that wants you and then also a place that can develop you into the best version of yourself.
Yeah, his story is remarkable. He just perseveres. His self-belief is incredible. I think I think he's combined that chip on his shoulder with like a true passion for the work and the teammates this year. So I definitely think it is a great story. I mean, it's an unbelievable story that what he's accomplished this year, and it's only getting better. I mean, I don't think the story's over. I think the story's still going, and I think there's no doubt in my mind he should be one of the finalists for the Heisman. I think the impact he's had on this football team is not just on the field, it's in the community, taking the belt out to the state championship game. It's the identity of our football team, the toughness of our football team, the ruggedness, the competitive level of our football team at all. A big part of that stems from him. And all of that stuff has an effect on a team that was picked at last, that now finished first, that aren't going to show up in the stat book. But if you talk about the impact a person can have on a program, how valuable somebody is to a team, all that stuff needs to be included, because all that stuff is where we are today. And I think that's why he should be, regardless of the fact he did something for the first time ever in the Big 12 Conference, like ever. Ever is a long time. Like, it's a very, very long time. And for you to do something for the first time ever in the Big 12 Big 12 Conference, that should be rewarded. And yeah, I hope he gets that opportunity to go there and experience that.
Jordan and Nick.
Kenny, Preston Kiefer hit his first field goal of the season in the championship game. What led to the decision to go with him in that scenario, and how have you seen him stay ready throughout the entire season?
Yeah, we put him in there, the Arizona game. Obviously, he's born and raised the Sun Devil. I mean, he's passionate about this place. So, I think in spring, he was doing really, really well. And then I think, when he realized, oh man, I may win this job. And you grew up in Sun Devil, kicker is not the easiest position. And for him to, feel that pressure a little bit. I think once he made that kick versus Arizona, the extra point, he came off the field, we just saw a different look in his eyes, like a comfort, like, whoa, I scored a point. Where's Arizona? Like, holy cow, is this real life? And I think ever since then, I just saw a look in his eye that was just like, that's the dude I want to put out there. And after he made that first kick, he was so fired up. I mean, he was juiced up on the sideline, and I'm like, well, how far you can make? He goes, I'm making them all night. All right, if we get another spot, you're kicking them all night. Let's go. So it was super, super exciting to see a guy who grew up in Sun Devil, passionate, and go and be a part of, a game that's going to be remembered in the history books.
Right.
Kenny, when you talk about not being a flash in the pan, and yesterday referencing Dabo and Clemson and building that kind of brand, is that like a step beyond activating the Valley, or what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, activate the Valley is, you can't win in college sports without community. Like, look at all the teams that are winning. They're not the teams that usually the big city teams struggle in today's day and age, right? That's just what it is, because there's so many other things to do that the college kind of gets drowned out a little bit. That's not every big city. There are some big cities that are still, the priority, but a lot of them do. And when I say that, it means that we can't win without the commitment from the city, from the community, from everybody involved. Because when we bring a recruit on campus, right, they have to see a sold-out crowd. They have to see that people care. They have to see that there's a fan base that's crazy on social media and they're passionate. And when he commits, he gets 4,000 retweets and 20,000, whatever it's called on Instagram, like likes or hearts or reposts. They got to see all that. Like, man, they care about this thing. And I know that sounds weird, that actually matters. It all matters. And you need it to win. And so that's the first step to winning. And then if we can create that and you can sustain it, well, now you can create a brand that's on a national stage, and then you can attract a higher level, you can compete for different people, for different players. And that's how you slowly build this thing into what I think it can become.
Ryan and then Betty.
Hey, Coach Ryan Myers, Devil's Digest. You've mentioned the players having some time off and practice schedule you guys have been going with. For you and the coaching staff, what does the next few weeks look like? Are you guys starting the game prep and
you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use. Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relay that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
What is up, all? I am back. Michael Caratino here, and yes, you are listening to the best internet radio station on the web. As it is Championship Monday here in Sun Devil country. And man, I tell you what, you just heard from Kenny Dillingham. That was just from today. For those of you listening on KSRN, again, I'm Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, don't forget the IG, michael.caratino.5. Yes, you guys know it. You guys love it. Check that out. And the YouTube channel, guys, if you've missed anything, you just missed Coach Dillingham's sound from his presser today after, again, being Big 12 champs. Let that sink in. Arizona State is Big 12 champs. So, that being said, and there is an awesome picture I got to tell you about. But yes, so for those listening on KSRN, again, so glad you're listening. I am not going to tell you about what happened as to why I don't have live video from the championship game, which I was headed to, because it's very frustrating, just to say the least. Very, 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 very frustrating. And you just got to get through things, and sometimes things happen. But seeing a grown man cry, a grown person cry, I should say, man, mom, doesn't matter, but I didn't. I almost did. But they came through in a huge, huge way. So yes, for those of you listening on KSRN, again, you're gonna hear the highlights are courtesy of ESPN, because I put this together for you. But yes, the extended highlights from the Big 12 championship game, my friends, as they roll through it, because man, I tell you what, it is absolutely phenomenal game. Yes, I did get to watch most of the rest of it, so not sad about that. But kind of sucked to say the least. Not making it there. Almost there, but almost doesn't count. So nonetheless, I want to bring this to you because, look, guys, it was none of these players, and you heard it in Coach Dillingham's presser, none of these players on this team were born or alive the last time ASU won a conference championship. 1 year in the Big 12, one Big 12 championship. Sound familiar? Forks up. ASU football and volleyball for absolute forks up to that. So yes, but I'm going to bring you the extended highlights. Those on KSRN, you'll be able to hear Jesse Palmer, Joe Tessitore on the call, but highlights courtesy of ESPN. So the highlight package is here, and enjoy the extended highlight version of the Big 12 championship game. We're just celebrating all day. Cam Scattaboo, his post-game presser, you guys saw. We'll get to that after the highlights. You saw, but that being said, like this, I mean, phenomenal game. Xavier Guillory, our guy, phenomenal game, stepping up for Jordan Tice. Everybody just stepped up. So yes, that is one of those things where absolutely huge. But yes, let's get to the extended highlights. So those of you listening on KSRN can relive this phenomenalness here in Sun Devil country, because you know we love it here on Pitchfork Lunch.
And Scattaboo nearly 1,400 yards, and this is how he's going to open up the Big 12 championship. As advertised, Big Cam.
And it's a great job. So as a group, we've got a lot of other guys that are going to have to step up.
This play action, Levitt's first throw of the game, and it's an easy pitch and catch as he gets it complete against Levitt. And he's going to tuck it and try to run for it as he dives ahead near the 15-yard line. The tackle from Sadowski. Abu Sama with a good lane. And he's close to that line to Beck. Opening touchdown, Carson Hansen. There's Sam Levitt on first down as he gets it quickly to Mateer, the tight end, who may be third and one, short pitch to Scattaboo. Takes his time looking for just a little bit, but what a great job with defensive pursuit. Own 35-yard line. Complete Stovall, a race to the goal line and just tripped up. Mateer. Own 35-yard line. Levitt to pass on 4th and 1. Wide open and complete. Stovall, a race to the goal line and just tripped up. Mateer has Is he the target here? Levitt's going to run with Scadaboo blocking, and he goes right in.
So everyone thinks this is going to be run, but it's Stovall getting behind everyone. What a play call by Kenny Dillingham and this coaching staff. An explosive play on a massive fourth down. Does that knock Alabama out potentially?
Bent. Pressure up the middle. Just has to check down to Hansen. Hansen's going to be wrestled at the 18-yard line. That's a heck of a job.
Scadaboo really has been paying dividends early.
Here is Scadaboo, and this is exactly what he does. How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go! Scadaboo inside the 30.
And you're pulling guys around, you're getting them into second level, you got DBs with an opportunity to make a tackle, and they just can't get him down. A miss, a run over, a run through, he stays on his feet. And then shedding those 15 extra pounds has helped his speed and just refuses.
Long at yards after contact. Already 66. On the backfield, swinging it to Brown. Brown has blockers in front, and it's a first down for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, Brown's going to have to play a role.
Levitt. We're going to extend the play. And Levitt is going to keep his balance somehow. Sam Levitt inside the 5. Scadaboo. All too easy.
This game, you see the right guard, right tackle, tight end all coming to the party. Iowa State does not have enough guys over
contact.
For consistency both ways.
There's Sam Levitt. He's going to launch it downfield, wants every bit of it, and waiting for it and hauling it in was McClain. Malik McClain, 6 foot.
Well, take a look at this again. There's the catch. Does the ball move? Does the ground in any way, shape, or form help McClain secure that catch?
Now, people are going to say it touched the ground. It does not matter as long as he has firm and consistent control through the process of the catch. Look at the grip on that football.
Yep. I don't think there's any movement. The call in the field was completion. So
they're going to go with Jackson, as both running backs were in the backfield there, but he cannot find anything as he's taken down.
As well. Nobody's alive for the playoff as long as you're in contention to win your conference.
There's Mr. Contact Balance again. Look at Scadaboo go. Tripped up just inside the 20. What an unbelievable first half by Scadaboo.
Iowa State, I mean, you got to invite friends to the party if you're going to tackle Scadaboo. I mean, you got to invite every contact in your phone.
There is no foul on the play. That's an Arizona State player towel.
At running back on 2nd and 5. Levitt fakes the pitch. And Levitt looking to scramble again. And once again, he's going to set up a 1st and goal. here on 1st and goal. And what else would you expect? His second rushing touchdown of the game, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns now for Cam Scatterbo.
Linebacker, this time Sadowski has a chance to make a tackle on the redshirt freshman quarterback, and now you're seeing his ability to make people miss, going down right before.
As Kiefer adds the extra point. 2nd and 4. Sama just tripped. A ball came out. The ball came out. Arizona State has it.
So much better this year at forcing takeaways, putting the helmet right on the football, free from Sama. That is a city fumble. You got to.
Scatterbo patiently looking and just pushing bodies aside.
You said patiently, Joe. That's one aspect of his game.
Levitt gets it out quickly to Brown, and Brown will have the 1st and goal set up for the Sun Devils. Levitt. Third and 3. Levitt gets it out quickly to Brown, and Brown will have the 1st and goal set up for the Sun Devils. Levitt. Touchdown, Gilreath. Here's Beck with time. That ball fluttered, and that ball is picked off. That is Abney with the interception. Keith Abney.
That ball may have been to 6'9". C66 right here. Watch this. He sidearmed it when he had a clear lane to throw into. It went off his helmet, got deflected, and Abney able to make the pick.
Is the star running back. Levitt wafting it to the end zone. What a catch! Gilreath again. And now even more reason for him to celebrate, as he does right there, taking great pride in his Native American heritage.
Phenomenal job that time by Sam Levitt. Unfade for a touchdown the previous drive. Wins one-on-one that time against Miles Purchase. Back shoulder. Unbelievable.
And a bye. 2nd and 2 for Beck. Sama's tackle for a loss. Ball came out again. Arizona State has it. 2 fumble recoveries now and an interception in this 3rd quarter alone.
It was Shamari Simmons who got there first. Clayton Smith was next coming into this one. And there's last year's team MVP, Shamari Simmons, getting in quickly in the Colorado transfer. Clayton Smith gets there second. Ball on the ground, and Arizona State's defense so good. 3 straight takeaways now on 3 possessions here in the second half. It was Watley, 95, that jumped on him.
So Watley gets 10 touchdown receptions, but they're picking up the pieces. 3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scatterbo. Scatterbo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another touchdown for the big bruiser.
Look at the job these receivers and tight ends do out here on the perimeter. There's Stovall getting a big block there. Try hard play. Mateer gets a big block.
For Iowa State. Rocco Becht is just blown up Shamari Simmons. Human missile to start the fourth quarter.
They got to look at targeting. Watch this live and just listen to this. The fact that Rocco Beck got up as quickly as he did, and Joe, the fact that Rocco
on a free run.
All right, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps, those were the extended highlights of the Big 12 championship game, courtesy of, obviously, ESPN, Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer on the call. And, I mean, look, what a game by Scattaboo. And we'll get to all of a lot more of this tomorrow. Also jump into volleyball. Again, they fell to A&M at home in 4 in the second round of the tournament this year. Sweet 16 last year, round of 32 this year. J.J. Van Neel's team, again, just such a class, great team. And, again, we will talk more about that tomorrow. But as always, forks up to both of those teams. Obviously, football, Big 12 champs, volleyball, Big 12 champs. First year in the Big 12, 2 Big 12 championships. I know athletic director Graham Rossini, we talked about activating the Valley, keeping it going, but it's across all sports. So forks up to that. Those of you listening on KSRN, you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, you know it. As always, forks up. Absolutely forks up. I will see everybody tomorrow. Again, at Diablo00 on X, Artist1 on Twitter. Football, Big 12 champs, first year in. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's away. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls off.